probably live, Eric. You're on the screen right now.
What's up, everybody?
Now I'm going to try to. This picture-in-picture should be working. I don't know why it's not working.
Or Pip.
Oh, here we go. Or is commonly referred to as Pip.
Pip. Whoa.
Was that you?
No. I was like, what was that?
All right, now we're on the screen. I don't know why this Pip isn't working.
You're in the corner.
The Pip, you're in the corner.
Oh, that's the FaceTime. What could be this? Ah, what if I do this? Hold on. Pip.
Beep.
There, now the little boy's in the corner.
Hey, little boy.
The little Emacs in the corner. We've got 24 people. Is anybody chatting? Is it working for everybody? How's the sound for everybody?
Can you hear any of us?
Yeah, can you hear any of us?
Can you turn Eric down just a bit?
Eric down, yep. You can actually control it from here, I believe. I was going to put a polo on, so I went in an old DD t-shirt, but I guess we're good to go.
Too late, we're already here.
We already out here.
To be fair, right.
Exactly.
But whatever.
Yeah. Fair point. All right, and I don't even know if the camera setup. Guys, I took like 2 hours today to try to get this set up. Tried to use a capture card, and that failed. And
Failed.
Yeah, so now we're using a little bit of a wanky setup with FaceTime.
A what? A what setup?
A wanky?
Wanky.
Is that okay to say wanky?
I think janky is the
Is it
term
Yeah.
I'm
janky?
looking for.
Wanky. Oh.
So we've got everybody online. We're back here, Disc Golf Answer Man. Of course, we're doing the Corona COVID ID 19 version where we are in a Robert's basement, broadcasting live. Eric is at his house in his
I'm in my basement.
man cave. As you can see, it's a Star Wars / disc golf setup.
Plethora of
Actually,
Emacs.
that's your truth shrine, isn't it?
The EMAC wall.
Yeah, that's all your Emacs, all your truths and everything.
So we've got super staticky, a bit of noise. I think it comes from Eric. So I wonder Eric, if you're not talking, if you mute, see how.
I do have headphones.
Tried that, but last time it went weird. But maybe it'll be okay now.
Second. Is that weird?
It's got that popping.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if it's a weird feedback or what.
It's too weird.
Now he's frozen.
Just run out.
I can use.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Frozen like the movie?
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. Now you're pixelated. All right, we're just gonna have to go with the flow.
My router's right there, so I
assume we have our phantom power off from last time.
Oh, let me double check. We even switch this. Someone use that.
Phantom? How many people we got online?
105 right now.
All right.
That's better. Perfect. Okay, sweet.
All right, good. Yeah. So yeah, once we were done with Disc Golf Answer Man, Danny or Anthony probably grabbed this camera and used it for filming on some other stuff and made some adjustments for there. So,
Mr. Drew, can you hear me?
sound. Good sound. Noise is gone. Perfect. That's what it was. Phantom. Good call, Roberto.
Cool. All right.
All right, so let's jump in it before anything else technically goes wrong. We have a treat for you for the Disc Golf Hot Takes because we're going to have, since we're using FaceTime, we're going to use FaceTime's group video chat function, and we're going to have Danny and Anthony come in the FaceTime group so we can all talk about the Disc Golf Hot Takes.
I'm going to turn off your little heater.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we'll talk about that. But right now we have me, Robert, and Eric. We're going to answer your Disc Golf questions and have some fun on the show. We'll have the after show if you want to join in as well. I know a lot of you are probably either probably watching from home or watching from work. So, all right. So let me hit record so I can make audio later. There it is recording. Perfect.
Did you hit up Danny and tell him his hot take day? Does he know? I saw him he made a comment in our thread, but
oh yeah, he said that he says he has one if they're because since they're coming in, if you want to just go with their hot take.
Yeah, let's just go with theirs right now.
I have another one that I thought of like right after our last one. It is so good, and I want to hurry up for it to be my turn.
Does it involve panda bears?
No, koalas.
Primates.
Oh, dang it.
All right, between the three of our microphone volumes, can you hear each of us okay? Out on the chat. Let us know.
Garcia has a good idea with hotcakes.
Hotcakes, yeah, I'm interested.
I had those for breakfast.
From where?
From here. My home.
Oh, you made them? Okay.
Where I live.
Well, I didn't know if maybe you'd ordered them or something.
Nah, man. They were
man.
Banana ones.
Ooh, did you put peanut butter on them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good take. Good call.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Bringing up the questions. I'm using my phone for the question. Not ideal, but it will work. We ready to just jump into the questions?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's the one we used from last time that we actually talked about on the after show with Brody. So we'll jump on to Mark's question. All right, guys, as always, remember you can go to Disc Golf. Oh, I need to make the actual actually start the show for audio. Here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Robert McCall and Eric McCabe. If Eric McCabe's audio sounds a little different, it's because we're still in COVID-19 quarantine stay-at-home mode. Me and Robert are in his basement recording, and Eric is FaceTime. He's FaceTimed in. Is FaceTime now a verb I can use?
I think so.
He's in with us, so he's going to sound just a little bit different, but he's still with us, going to help answer the questions.
I'm here.
Yes. So as always, remember you can go to discgolfanswerman.com. That's a new domain out there. .com, and you can submit your disc golf questions, and we will try to get them on the air. We're just going to hop right into it because we've had a lot of setup prior to starting the show, so we're just going to jump right in. This one's from Mark. Hey, I am a relatively new player and recently graduated from mids and started throwing drivers. My two drivers are a Valkyrie, which is a speed 9, and a Beast, which is a speed 10. I can put my speed 9 driver out 280 to 300 feet max. My speed 10 will go 300 to 315 feet max. Can the speed account for why one is going further? I know this is a shorter distance for drivers. Should I disc down? Oh, well, let's deal with the first question first. Can the speed, in other words, he's going from a speed 9 to a speed 10. He can throw the speed 10 faster. Is that because it's, or farther, is that because it's a speed 10?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, excuse me, it could be. It's funny that this question comes up because... can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, it said poor connection. That's why I was asking it. Molt on his YouTube channel just put out a post the other day where he was throwing two different discs, one of them being the Sapphire, and he was throwing that just as far as he was throwing a high-speed driver. So, a lot of it is technique as well as the speed of the disc and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pardon me, I'm with you on that. We're spinning right now, so I
know.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Okay. So, nice. Almost nice. I will say I do think the speed could account for 10, 15 feet, something like that. Maybe 20. But yeah, if you throw, depending on your form, sometimes speed 9s will go just as fast as, or just as far as speed 10s and speed 11s, things like that, just depending on how you throw.
Yeah. The one thing
it has a lot to do with arm speed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, too.
Yeah, a lot of things we don't want to make sure people confuse is that just because you go, in other words, it's like, oh, I need some more distance, I'm just going to go up a speed. You don't want to fall into that trap.
Right.
Next part of his question, I know this is a shorter distance drive for drivers. Should I disc down? The faster speed disc going further makes me want to disc up, but maybe this wouldn't be a good decision for my slower arm speed. Lastly, I lost my Valkyrie. What is a good DD replacement? If you guys think I should disc down, what do you recommend? So,
I have your Valkyrie replacement. It's an Escape.
Boom. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is a good one.
Comma, boom, yeah.
I really like the Escape.
Comma?
And, yeah. Comma, chameleon.
Yeah.
I think it's a great substitute for the Valkyrie. If it was going pretty straight for you, you could work it a little bit to the right and then come back to the left, and you're throwing it around 285, 300. Yeah, that's a good one for you.
The other thing I would stress is don't get wrapped too much in distance. Worry more about control and consistency, because those two things right there are going to be what is going to accelerate your game a lot faster than being able to throw it an extra 20 or 30 feet as well. So something else to think about.
Yep.
Cool. All right, next one comes from Garrett. Hey, Bobby and the boys. Ooh, Bobby and the boys. Hope all is well. I've been playing disc golf for about 8 months, and I feel pretty comfortable with my backhand throws. I've found I'm much more comfortable throwing a backhand anhyzer than a forehand hyzer, and decided that's something for me to work on. I can throw forehand spike hyzers, but anytime I try to throw something that flattens out and glides, I just turn it over to the point that it might as well be a roller. I'm throwing pretty overstable discs like a Sexton Firebird. What do?
What do?
Thanks for your help and all you do and all you will do and have done. Wow. Okay, he's covered all his bases. I'm going to name my firstborn child after you.
Bobby and the boys?
Bobby and the boys.
Hey, but question, what do?
What do? Why
Somebody named their,
what do?
Do you remember somebody named their child McCabe one time?
I do.
That's pretty cool.
Why do they do that?
Yeah, why they do that?
Why do they do that?
Why don't you do that? I don't even remember the question at this point. What was it?
Okay, here you go. All right, so he said he's more comfortable throwing backhand anhyzer than forehand hyzer. He can throw forehand spike hyzers, but when he tries to throw something flat, it turns over towards a roller. So what it sounds like you've got going on is when you're throwing your forehands and you're throwing spike hyzers, like you're exaggerating the hyzer angle, so it makes it easier to stay on that hyzer. But when you start to throw flat, it's very likely that you're rolling your wrist over at the end of the flight. And it kind of, pardon me, kind of feels like when you're throwing a baseball, you kind of like your hand just naturally finishes through, right? Like you snap your wrist and naturally finishes through. And it feels like if you do that with a disc golf disc, since you're trying to throw it forward and only 2 of your fingers are underneath the disc most of the time, that the natural follow through would be to kind of turn those over and just like snap it. You do want to snap it, but you don't want your hand to finish palm down. Generally, that's what will cause the disc to turn over and flutter so much. So you want to work on bringing your hand through flat, or even palm up would help you out on that.
Yeah. I know nothing about forehand, so.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
But I would say that'd be something to work on.
Definitely. And I was with, I played around the other day with Tristan and Isaiah, and Tristan was helping Isaiah out with his forehand, and he told him a couple things that really stuck with me as well is, like you said, with the pop there at the end, don't worry as much about that pop as think of it as a backhand throw. You don't accelerate at the very end and snap your wrist. You know, it's one fluid motion. So it is similar on forehands as well. And that really stuck with me and Isaiah. He was mashing some forehands toward the end of that round. So something else to think about.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Thomas. A question regarding disc decisions. Hey, I just started playing in August. I got really addicted, and I feel a lust. to constantly buy discs.
It's a new description for it.
What are your thoughts? Should I aim for the same discs I feel somewhat work, or should I try new discs to see if I find ones that feels better? Mainly throwing mid-ranges now because I lack at distance.
Product placement.
I'm surprised you have any of those laying around.
Yeah, all right. I would say there's absolutely nothing wrong with testing the waters to see what works best for you. You never know. The next disc you try may be the one that you fall even more in love with. But I would say if you've got a disc that you're liking, stick to it and get to know that disc and learn that disc. If you've already got a plethora of them, go with it. But at the same time, like I said, it doesn't hurt to try other molds just to see what's out there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think you can get into a bad habit of buying, and never really learning any of those discs. You just throw it once and you think that you know what it does without testing it on different lines and different release angles and stuff like that. So I think it's worth kind of what we've talked about before, Eric. If we're looking for a new disc in our bag or trying out a new disc in our bag, we'll take it out to the course, put it in our bag, and throw it on every hole, regardless of if it's a good hole for that disc, just so that you can kind of see what that disc does at different speeds, different angles, forehand, backhand, that sort of stuff.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Next one comes from Hoggy in Tacoma, Washington.
Nice.
Oh, he's asking about scented plastic. Remember we used to have that scented plastic? Hope you guys are doing well through these weird times. They are weird times indeed, Hoggy. My question is about your scented plastic. Back in 2014, I saw and picked up a scented plastic Warden. Oh boy, did it make my entire bag smell like cherries. Here I am 6 years later, and I'm still bagging that Warden. The grip is fantastic, and the flight path has been pretty well beaten in, but dang it. I'll change his words he used.
Dang it.
The scent has faded long ago. So my question is, when are we going to see more scented plastics? I want my bag to smell like cherries again.
One thing I used to love about that scented plastic is I bought I think it was either apple or blueberry. I think it might have been blueberry, and I put it underneath my car seat. And it was summertime, and it would act as a air freshener. It was you get in the car, it just smelled like blueberries. It was awesome. It was so awesome.
So I haven't heard any plans about bringing that back. I don't know if this gives away anything or if this makes a lot of sense, but I know sometimes certain plastics are limited. Like depends on if the plastic company can produce that or will produce that. In other words, we might go to the plastic company and say, "Hey, we like this scented plastic. We want more of it," and they'd say, "Well, if we do, it'll have to be this cost because the supply on that particular plastic or what we do is low, so we have to charge." I'm saying the whole supply and demand thing is in effect, and so it may not make sense to do it again. So I haven't heard any plans, so I would not hold my breath. I would continue to breathe.
Yes, please continue breathing.
Continue breathing, yeah. So, yeah. All right, this one's from Josh. He says, "There's a stupid question if you're still low on questions." We are not low on questions, but we take all questions, no matter how stupid they are. I mean, listen to half the questions we've already talked about. I'm just teasing.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, what? No, if a pro wanted to remain anonymous and go dominate some B and C tiers, could they hypothetically create a new PDGA account under a fake name and then wear a mask for the full tournament? Don't know why I thought of this, but hey, a question's a question. I mean, I suppose someone, if they wanted to so bad, they could. I don't know why they would want to go to the trouble of that. But
why would they need to, though?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Why would they need to create a new account? Why couldn't they just go dominate?
So I don't know.
Yeah, because if they're playing open, you play open at any C tier just like you would at a major. If they wanted to go dominate like advanced or something, they would have to do that. But that seems like that would be a mistake.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is from Nick. Nose angle and putters. So I've heard you should throw putters with a bit of a nose up angle to keep them straight, but nose down with drivers. I assume to adjust nose angle means you adjust your wrist angle. Do pros develop muscle memory with their wrist angle according to which disc they are throwing? It seems that with changing nose angle depending on which disc you use would create a large opportunity for inconsistency. I'm still working on consistency in my form and am wondering if I need to develop more than one wrist angle depending on the disc I am throwing. Thank you guys for your willingness to really help everyone play the best they can.
Nice.
That's take a break.
That's a long question. Okay, so I think you may be mislabeling wrist angle and arm angle. I don't think you want to adjust your wrist in order to throw different nose angles. I think you'd want that to be more of your arm and kind of keep your wrist in line with your forearm, right? So if you're watching the video, if you think of having a line straight through your forearm all the way to your fingers, you want that to be pretty straight the whole time that you're throwing it. Like not straight as if there was a ruler there and you have to keep all of your arm in contact with that ruler, but the plane of it needs to be pretty similar. You don't want to drop your wrist in order to start a disc nose up. Really, you just want to adjust the angle that you throw it on instead of just adjusting at your wrist. Does that make sense?
I think so.
I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
You cut out that entire time, so I have no idea what you said.
Sorry. I was saying that,
all I heard was ruler.
Okay. So he was talking about adjusting the angle at his wrist, and I think you should to throw nose up. And I don't think you should adjust the angle at your wrist. Instead, adjust it at your forearm. Like that, you want that to kind of all stay on the same plane.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're working on doing nose up,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you're working on throwing it nose up just for those approach shots, it's really just adjusting the angle at your arm instead, and maybe leaning back just a little bit more too, because that can adjust the nose up. But I mean, we're talking minuscule stuff, and we're talking people who've thrown it a whole bunch of times. So I would say if you're working on throwing putters right now, you can throw it nose up to limit your distance or control your distance a little bit better. But I wouldn't say focus on that as your only way to control distance. Get your speed down first, and then you can work on nose up if you want to later. Got it? Yes.
All right, next one is from Zach. Standstill versus run up. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man fam, or DeGam fam. I've been playing for 3 years and have always thrown from standstill. My max throw with a driver is about 300 feet. I've tried to X step, but it throws all my timing off. Should I just keep doing the X step until I get it? Do one step throws until I get the timing better? Or stick with standstills? Thanks for all you guys do.
What do you think, Eric?
I honestly, the connection is so bad.
You can't hear us.
Okay. Well,
no, Bobby just keeps cutting out. Try to call me back, and I'll use my phone off Wi-Fi and see if that helps.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so to answer your question while we figure that out, you said you've been playing always from a standstill. Max is about 300 feet. Try to X step, but it throws my timing off. Okay. I don't think that you have to have a run up and X step in order to play disc golf well. But in order to kind of unlock your full potential.
Whoa, how's that?
How about that?
Is that good? Bad?
That's good. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
So in order to unlock the full potential of distance that you can throw, you'll need to you would need to incorporate an X step. However, if you're throwing standstill and it's working for you fine right now, that's fine. You don't have to do that. You just won't be able to throw as far as you could otherwise, potentially. That's where it's at. You kind of just need to do what's best for you. If you don't want to X step and you want to just throw your 300 feet and be consistent with it, you can do that. But you just won't ever really be able to throw much more than that eventually.
All right, next one is from Josh. Why are some discs above max weight? For a long time, I have bagged some 177 plus weight discs. I was unaware that they were illegal for sanctioned play. Apologies if this is a repeat. I'm new to the podcast and have not exhausted the plethora of content of that DeGam has provided. Well, get after it, Josh.
no better time than the present.
Right, exactly. Just download them all, lay in bed with your headphones, and just listen.
And go to sleep to Bobby and the boys.
Yes. Put the world out of your mind. So why they do that? Why they got overweight discs?
Well, I mean, just because a disc is a 177 gram doesn't necessarily mean it's overweight either. Matter of fact, I've seen weights go all the way up to 200 grams that are legal. It's all dependent on the size of the diameter of the disc, if I'm not mistaken. I know there was a batch of, was it Ricky Destroyers that just came out recently that were all overweight, I think. Yes. And I'm sure that was just a mistake in the factory, and they just happened to slip out the doors for whatever reason. And then somebody found out about it and called Innova and told them, and then they had to recall them or whatever the situation was in that. But I'm sure, when you're making mass quantity of discs, there's going to be a few that kind of slip through the process that are going to be overweight, well overweight. I know with Latitude, it's a different scenario for them on how they produce discs, and computers weigh it, and they'll kick it to the side if it's overweight, if they have it programmed correctly and all that. So just because a disc it weighs 177 grams doesn't necessarily mean it's overweight.
Yeah, it really depends on, like you said, the diameter. And for reference, most mid-ranges have a wider diameter than fairway drivers, distance drivers, and putters. And because they have that wider diameter, they can go up to 180 grams for the most part. It's different for different discs. It's just dependent on their width. Like the 200-gram discs that Eric was talking about, like the Condor is
what I was thinking.
Is an Innova disc that's like really super duper wide that can go up to 200 grams because it's such a crazy wide diameter.
Yep.
So, yes.
All right. So typically now I take a little break and we talk about events, but obviously we don't have any events coming up in the immediate future. So hopefully you guys are just staying safe out there, staying at home if you are directed to do so by wherever you live. If not, you are practicing social distancing, whatever your side of the table you are on politics or whatnot. I think this is something that we all need to take serious and take precautions. But I know that once this is past us, which it will be, we are looking to run some events, no guarantees, but we're looking to try to run something. It will not be a GBO. We will not be rescheduling the GBO, but we're going to try to make some events that bring people out to Emporia because that's what we love doing. We love having people come out to Emporia, play events, and play on our really cool courses. So make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms. Just look up Dynamic Discs, and so that you are aware whenever we start putting those into place.
Yeah, I did go out yesterday with Tristan Tanner before the PDGA put out their statement of do not play disc golf. We went out and filmed a couple rounds, an all EMAC round, Lucid X EMAC round, and then the second round we did.
This is a cool one.
We were blindfolded and played best shot doubles at Hammond Park.
That's so cool.
And it was so much fun. Like I haven't had that much fun in a really long time, but I'm editing that and it'll be out on my YouTube channel. Probably look for it like Friday is what day I think I'm going to try to release it.
Is it just Eric McCabe or does it have your PDJ number in it?
It's Eric McCabe 11674.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, so guys, make sure you go out there and follow that for sure. Let's see. This one is from Josh again. This one's a long one. Get ready. Pretty in-depth one, too. Thanks for continuing to provide content during these times. I know we all appreciate you guys. My background is in polyethylene kayaks.
Yep.
It has been explained to me by people running the ovens that these are made in as more of an art versus a science because these plastic items are affected by so many variables. Ambient air temperature and humidity, not just cook time and the amount of plastic. Also different colors in polyethylene. Oh, yeah. Shrink at different rates as they cool. Now for my nerdy question. Do these things come into play with discs? And if so, it might be negligible. However, I think it is fun and may be helpful to consider if this is how pop tops, puddle tops, flat tops, etc., of different run characteristics take place. Do disc manufacturers take advantage of this to create different run characteristics or replicate older popular ones? Keep up the good work, y'all, and thanks for reading this.
What was his name?
Josh Davis.
Josh Davis. Hit me up if you got a hookup on some kayaks, because I would love to pick you up one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
He can hook you up with some EMAC truths
yes.
in return.
I bet.
Trade 1-for-1, whatever you want.
Yeah, literally any disc on the wall.
Yeah, seriously, though, I would love to pick one up. Let me know. Hit me up.
So I mean, obviously we don't, the three of us aren't in part of the manufacturing process, but we have all been to the factory and have talked to Thomas, the man who creates these. And yeah, I believe that humidity, the weather, how they control the things in the factory, all play into how the shape of a disc is formed or how it affects the disc when it is actually injected or molded or whatever you want to say. I don't know that any of us know the exact details, like, anything above 80% humidity means this will happen or anything like that.
No, but there is, it's like you said, there is an art to producing discs, because there are so many things that have to be very precise. Humidity is a big one of them. Having a climate controlled area is another one. Discs come out differently if they are too hot when they leave the machine, or if they cool down too quickly, So yes, that sort of stuff can definitely be manipulated to turn out the type of disc that you want. It's just not perfect every time. Like we said, it's more of an art than if you follow these exact steps, then this will happen every single time. It's not that way every single time.
It's definitely a science.
We got ourselves the super chat.
Super chat coming in from Austin Rents. He dropped $9.99.
Thank you so much, Austin.
And
fantastic.
Message afterwards, he said, super grateful for Disc Golf Answer Man. Thanks, guys. EMAC Truth is da bomb, by the way. Bam.
Lucid X EMAC Truth.
Da bomb.
Releasing Thursday, March 26th at 11 a.m. Central at dynamicdisc.com or your favorite pro shop. So make sure you check them out.
Assuming that they're still open. It's hard to know for sure.
This is true. So online is going to be probably your best bet. So, all right. Let's see. This next one is from. Okay, so when I read the subject on this one, I thought of Dead Man Walking. Dead Man Walking. Dead Man. You know what movie that is, right?
Yeah, fantastic movie.
Robert probably does, huh? I bet you the YouTube board does.
Okay, I'll let them answer before.
Yeah.
So,
can I give a hint?
Sure.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Well, he's in a lot of movies, though.
I know, but that's why it's a good hint.
True. Stephen King. There's another hint.
Ooh, even better, yeah. Yes.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
So the subject that Tyler put in here says, big man rounding. Big man. All right, so his question is, hey, guys, I've been playing for less than a year. I'm a big guy, and I've noticed when pulling through on a right hand backhand, that my body, stomach, chest gets in the way of a proper pull through. Any tips on getting out of my own way?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, Green Mile is the answer for audio listeners that haven't figured out yet.
Cool. I will say one of the guys who I've always admired the way that they threw previously and the way that they throw now is Jordan Castro. Jordan he's lost quite a bit of weight over the last several years, but even when he was a little bit heavier than he is now, he was throwing, maybe not quite as far, but pretty close to, he's still a fantastic player at the time. One of the things that I saw Jordan do is he can't bring the disc in very, very tight to his body, but he still has the correct timing to go with it. So it wasn't rounding necessarily. It was a little bit more of a wide rail throw, but he still got to a good kind of power pocket spot before throwing his shot. So you might go look up some older videos of Jordan, or you can also just message him. He's a super good dude. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you out with that. But adopting a little bit more of a wide rail would probably help you a little bit. Also, not trying to pull it so very close to your chest that you hit yourself. That's a different one. Yeah.
Why are you hitting yourself? Remember when I was a kid? Did you ever do that with your,
with your
friends? Why are you always hitting yourself?
No, because I was the little brother.
You were the one. You were the one getting hit.
You were getting hit.
I do it with Sebastian sometimes. Why are you hitting yourself? He always just stares at me like, "What is your problem?" All right, next one comes from David. David says, "What is the custom when someone on your card gets a hole-in-one? I'm sure it's different depending on the type of environment you're playing in or who you're playing with. However, generally speaking, is there a well-followed standard custom? I'm still seeking my first ace, but witnessed an ace as by a player on my card. When the player on my card hit their ace, everyone on the card signed the disc the player used to get the ace. I feel this is pretty much standard. However, I'm curious to hear about other traditions that may be out there, or what you do when you or someone on your card hits an ace. Can you tell us about a memorable ace you have had or seen? Do you have any stories of someone hitting an ace while in contention in the final round of a tournament, i.e. coming down the back nine with a chance to win and hitting an ace? So yeah, the big what's customary is to have everybody sign the disc. Another thing that's kind of an unspoken rule is giving $1. Everybody on the card, or everybody that actually witnessed the ace, gives $1.
$5.
Oh, $5. I'm sorry, $5.
There's a couple things that you don't want to do as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Number one, do not sign the basket.
Yes, please don't do that, guys.
Don't sign the basket. Up in the Northeast, there's a course up there that they have their tee signs are all on 4x4 wooden posts in the ground. And then if you go look at that wooden post, you can see people sign that with the name, the disc they threw, and the date. I'm okay with that. On the wooden post, on the tee sign, I'm okay with that, but not on the actual tee or the actual baskets. Yeah. Just don't mark up the baskets, please.
Yeah, I'm with.
So the memorable ace, I believe, was Ricky Wysocki. I can't remember what event, but didn't he get an ace on hole? Not the last hole, but wasn't it hole 17?
No, he aced the last hole in Utah, but it wasn't like he needed it to win. He had like a 7-stroke lead or something.
Oh, okay.
I thought,
but it was still it was a walk-off ace. I mean, that's still pretty epic.
For some reason, I thought he was only up like 1 or 2, and that sealed the deal. But I don't remember.
So too. I can't.
Maybe what it was. All he had to do was get in bounds. Maybe
there you go. There you
possibly.
Go. Yeah, I think that
a par would have won.
Oh, yeah. So a par would have won, but he sealed it with an ace.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was.
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that sounds.
I just remember it being a big deal, and everybody.
Yeah, it was super cool.
It was pretty epic.
Okay, so as far as ace traditions go, yes, I've had people sign the disc that I'm throwing. I've also had people ace and then be like, "Hey, please don't sign this." Like a good example for me that I remember very clearly was Nolan Grider in Texas. If you're from Texas, you know Nolan.
Texas Tornado.
Dude, he's so good. He's still so good.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even get to play as much anymore. But he aced with an old last run CETL. I mean, beeline, never outside the middle of the basket. And rang it up, and we all kind of got our Sharpies out, and he was like, no. I've aced with this a whole bunch of times. Please don't sign it. And I was like, okay. Respect.
Oh, wow.
Do what you got to do.
I don't really.
He wasn't being rude.
Anymore.
Yeah, I will if somebody asked me to.
Sure. No. I'll sign your disc all day. I don't have people sign my aces.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why not?
That's a good question.
Just so many of them.
Well, no, not. I mean, yes, but no. I guess for me, it's a disc that I'm going to continue to throw. It's not one that at this, unless it's like a super epic, memorable ace like the one I had in Sweden.
Right.
That you were there, Bobby. That was a walk-off ace. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
At that tournament.
Well, barely walk-off after 80 holes.
80 hole challenge.
Barely could walk off.
You got wheeled off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I called the ace. And that one I did hang up because it was memorable to me.
Right.
It was my first Swedish ace. It was called shot and all that. But for the most part, if I ace with the disc, it did what I wanted it to do, and I want to see it do it again.
Gotcha.
So I just continue to throw it.
Yeah, same for me. My most recent one I had people sign, but I just kept throwing it. Like it, yeah. And if I lose it, I lose it. Like that stinks, but whatever. My most memorable ace was I was playing the Wild Hair in Texas. Miles Seaborn was out there. Bryce Longerbone was out there. JD Ramirez was out there. Three Texas guys that, yeah, if you know, you know. And it was in Abilene, where I lived at the time. It was I think it was my first open tournament, and or second open tournament rather. And I bounced a disc in sideways into a basket, like strong right to left wind. It came down on a spike, bounced in, no chains, and I freaked out. I don't remember how old I was. 25 or something like that, but I just took off toward the basket and my card was like, dude, go get it. I was like, okay. So
go get that.
Yeah, cool. So I sprinted to go get it. The lead card is right behind it. I was on chase card at the time. Lead card was right behind us, and I went 5 under on a string of 4 holes to get back into the to get a good score to get back into the tournament. But yeah,
that's cool.
I heard about it afterwards. They're like, hey, you're supposed to just wait till everybody throws, then you can go. I was like, oh, my bad. Like I said, this was quite a while ago.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good.
First timer.
Yeah. I finally did it.
All right. Next question is from Christopher. He asking about throwing putters. What putter do you guys?
Hold on. We have a super chat.
Oh yeah, we did.
You'll be pleased at it.
What is it?
Just go ahead and get ready.
Should I cue it up?
So,
wait, what mic am I?
This is from Old Folks Home. He gave $1.99 and he says, pew, 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 pew. You woke up Sebastian. There you go.
Sebastian was barking. He goes, what the is that?
Old Folks Home, I hope your $1.99 was worth it. I feel like it probably was.
I actually got a few messages on Facebook. People saying, I love the pew pew. And I was like, what are they? Oh, that's right. The last episode. I did it like 5 times, I think. All right. So back to the putter question. He wants to know, what putter do you guys use for a throwing putter? I'm looking for recommendations for a fairly straight but not flippy putter. Thanks for the awesome podcast.
Christopher, you come to the right place. Because do I have a disc for you? It's called the Warden.
Starts with a war, ends with a den.
Yeah. Honest to goodness, that's the answer for me. The Warden is super duper straight, not flippy, especially not out of the box. You can beat it up to be understable, but they're so just super duper straight and neutral out of the box, easy to throw flat and finish flat. They're very good.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. All of what you said is absolutely true. If you find the Warden drifting right a little bit for you, what I throw in that place is a shield, a medium shield from. Granted, mine flies really, really straight now because it is from what year? 2014. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. A long time.
The 2014 ago. Trilogy challenges. The medium ones, something about the plastic, the way it feels, the way I can get it to hold just a straight line. So when it beats up enough, it's a fantastic flyer that I never have a concern of it turning to the right.
True.
Cool. I don't know that I throw the Deputy, but that does flip on me. I need to figure out myself a throwing putter. I've thrown the Warden before, but for some reason the last time I threw it, it kept catching on my fingers.
Maybe you need to work on your fingers.
Yeah. Maybe I should. Yeah. Instead of getting a different disc, just
wasn't that the last episode that Bobby had finger issues? He didn't know what his fingers were called.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the last episode, but it was it was a pretty recent one.
I was watching that one, and for whatever reason I wasn't on, but I was watching it, and I remember thinking, "Wow, Bobby,
how is this possible?
What is going on here?"
I remember you were holding up. Someone did
something with fingers the other day and messed up as well. And I was like, it's not that easy.
I don't remember how we got to this, but I feel like you called the ring finger your index finger.
Yes, I believe it.
He did.
And then said, well, what do you call your middle finger? And I was like, your middle finger.
Yeah.
The bird.
I thought it had another name, like, pinky. And what's this one called?
Ring finger.
Oh, that's the ring finger. Do you call it a ring finger? It doesn't have another name besides.
Everyone says ring finger.
Even if it's on the other hand?
Yes.
You sure?
100%. Look at this.
Look at this guy.
All right. Let's see. Hey,
index and pointer finger.
Well, why aren't your toes called the same things then?
I call my toes my index toe.
Do you? Your index toe?
No. Of course not. Hey, my ring toe.
Can you scratch my
pinky toe though?
Pinky toe I do say. But you don't say thumb toe.
No, you sure don't.
I say though. No.
It's my though.
Doc Zen with a $2 super chat says, Bobby, I got rough hands. Use Lucid Wardens. Maybe that.
Oh, there you go. Lucid Wardens.
Or Lucid X. Warden.
Yeah, that's good too.
Some AJ Risley. Andrew, throwing putters more than the average bear. Oh, throwing putter again. Head to Gam, guys. I'm a big Kevin Jones fan, and the more I watch him play, the more I hear commentators say he's throwing a putter here where any other guy would throw a fill in the blank. He throws putters when other pros throw fairways and mid-rangers. Also, throwing putters and then moving up is often a recommended strategy for beginners. What are the advantages for throwing putters for non-putt shots? And why do you think KJ does it other than being able to destroy with them?
He does it very well. So does James Conrad. They both throw putters extremely well. And I think a lot of it is just because it's their personal preference. If Robert, for instance, if Robert and I were to go play around at Jones West, he would be throwing his putter on a lot of shots that I would be toning back and throwing my mids on. It's really just preference. One good thing about a putter is it's really, when you learn how to throw it, it's really easy to control. It's slow, so you don't have to worry about ripping it over or, a lot of action, anything like that. So there's a lot of benefits to both sides of it. I personally choose the mid-range just because I feel comfortable with it. So I like to throw my mids a lot more than putters off the tee. But I do still throw putters off the tee. It's just situational.
Yeah, like you said, when a putter is spinning a little bit more slowly, that makes it a little bit more forgiving in the air. That's what I like about it is it's started on that line, especially the Warden that we were talking about earlier, not even to plug the Warden, but started on the line, it's gonna do that. Like it's just, especially the premium plastic ones, like the ones I keep in for super straight shots. Yeah, started on the line and that's where it's gonna go. It's very predictable. So that's why I like it. And that's why Kevin Jones can throw putters so very far that it's probably easier for him to control the distance on those than it would be on a mid-range or a fairway driver in some of those situations. So that's why he does that. He's a baller, by the way. He throws so well.
Yes, he does.
All right, we're going to take one last question for Disc Golf Answer Man. This one is from Tad. I watched Danny's video he recently posted on top 5 tips for better backhands and found that my 4 fingers tucked into the rim was causing a nose-up throw. However, when I place the rim of disc in the crease of my hand from the wrist up between my index and ring fingers, somebody help Bobby out with which finger those are. LOL.
Thank you.
As recommended in the video, I am unable to get my index finger into a full power grip. My index finger can only get to the bottom of the rim, not tucked under. That goes for an escape and, of course, is even worse on a wider rim king. My question is this a problem? Not having the index finger grip under the rim, will it cause accuracy problems or other issues? Thanks, guys. Really appreciate your time and help. Stay safe. What say you, gentlemen?
All right. So we don't have a disc here, but if you are having difficulty getting your finger all the way under the rim so that it's not touching the underside of the disc, or like the pad of your finger isn't up on the inside rim of the disc, I don't think that's a problem. That's how I hold a power grip, is I'll get the pad of my finger on the underside of the flight plate as opposed to curling it all the way into the inside of the rim. I've
kind of like a stacked, right? Like a stacked, more of a stacked grip than a power grip.
Right. I've heard some people talk about this where when they hold a power grip, the pads of their middle and ring fingers are up against the inside of the rim, where the pads of their pinky and index fingers are against the flight plate. And I think it's just kind of how you hold it. So, and I like I said last episode, I've started throwing with a 3-finger power grip, so I won't put my pinky on at all. However, I do think there's an issue with not getting your index finger under the rim at all. If you're holding it on the outside of the rim, then you're creating... Yeah, that's kind of like if you're watching right now, Eric's got kind of a stacked grip on there with all the pads of his fingers on the underside of the rim as opposed to curled into the inside of the rim, which is, which is comfortable for a lot of people. But I think the thing that you can't do, or that you really shouldn't do, is put your index finger on the outside of the rim, not tucked under at all, because now you're creating an inconsistent release point every time. the last thing that the disc is going to touch is an extended finger, where who knows where that might release off of, instead of having it be one consistent release point on the inside of your first knuckle on your index finger.
Yep.
Yeah. So make sure and get it under there in some way, but it does not have to curl all the way inside to the inside of the rim.
Yeah, and just make sure it feels comfortable too. If it feels really awkward and weird, I mean, and you're starting to shank shots, it's just not worth it. Just go with whatever works. What's more comfortable for you?
Yep, I'm with it.
There you go. All right, guys. So that's all the time we have for the Disc Golf Answer Man show. Thank you so much for sending your questions. Keep sending those questions into discgolfanswerman.com. We'll try to get them on the air. If you send in a speak pipe, we apologize, but because of our certain setup that we have right now, we weren't able to get to them. Hopefully, we'll figure out a different way we can do it for next week. If you're on YouTube, stay tuned so we can do some hot takes and after show. If you're on audio, we will see you on those episodes. Make sure you are subscribed. If this is the first time you're listening, subscribe so that you never miss an episode. We have, I'm going to be, let's see, almost the end of the month. I'm going to be calling our touring players and have another question of the month for them. And then we have, well, we won't have any on the calls because we don't have any tournaments to dissect, but we will have plenty of other content coming out. We're thinking about like doing a Disc Golf Pro Q&A. Maybe I talked to AJ Risley when he gets settled in. I'm going to call him and just interview him live. We'll do it on YouTube, but also we'll turn that into audio just so we can try to continue to create content for you guys while you might be stuck at home going a little stir crazy. All right. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you. All right, we'll take a little brain break. You hanging in there, Eric?
5 stars.
I'm hanging with my Emacs.
All right, we'll see what happens with. I'm gonna hang up and then
I need to hang this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up and then I'll call you because I'll have to do it within that group message I made.
I'm gonna reload on Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, go for it.
YouTube audience, thanks for sticking with us. We're gonna do a little bit of shifting around for disc golf hot takes and hot cakes. So
we lost 14 just from signing off from disc golf.
Unreal. Hey, in the meantime, if you guys have quick questions that we can answer while Bobby gets set up, we would love to.
Anyone have any homemade masks for my middle daughter? Apparently, she's going to need some. Okay. How big of a super chat would it take to Emac to do the chicken dance on camera? I don't know. We'll have to ask him. How much you got on that
basement?
How much you got on that credit card?
M. Carwile, we are sitting in my basement.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, if you're not a regular of the show, we are doing Disc Golf Answer Man from Robert's basement. We have decided to work from home to flatten the curve to try to slow the spread of the virus. So we figure we would stay home and work from home.
Your screen is still shared, by the way.
Oh, my screen is still shared, so that means whatever I do on here, everything will be seen.
Jagar Garcia. I have not tried the cream soda, Dr. Pepper cream soda yet. I have a can of it that somebody gave to me, but I haven't tried it just yet. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit hesitant to do so because I like Dr. Pepper just how it is. But that's where I'm at. M. Norv, what DD fairway driver is most like the Leopard? The Maverick is the most like the Leopard. I think that if you like the Leopard, you will like the Maverick. It's very good. Has anyone thrown the new Tour Series or 10-year runs? How similar or different? The Felons seem pretty similar to me. Dig and DG. They're on the overstable side. Lucidex Emacs are actually pretty darn overstable for an Emac. So this would be if you were carrying like 3 Emac truths, 1 overstable, 1 straight, 1 understable or beat up. This would certainly be on the overstable side.
All right, everybody. I've got the volume turned off, but I don't know if it'll still come through. So hang tight. Anthony's not available.
Aceron, I have not done that at a tournament, like reevaluated my whole bag because of missing a shot, but I have gone and worked on shots after tournaments, 100%.
Okay, nothing's happening.
All right, let's see. Sorry, David says when driving, How much do you push off with your back foot? I often end up not getting much effort back from my back leg. David, I wouldn't say I'm awesome at that, but someone who does do that really well is AJ Risley. He is super good at pushing off and getting some power out of his back leg. You might reach out to him and see if he's got some recommendations for you, because he does that quite well. I have not bagged the Sergeant just yet, but we also haven't been playing very much because of, not being outside. Adam, we did have homemade tacos in isolation. On Saturday, Bobby made us a version of the Roscoe from Torchy's Tacos, which is the chicken and waffles taco. So tortilla, waffle, chicken strip, bacon, fried egg, syrup. It was awesome. Then we also did a trailer park, which is fried chicken, queso, some greens. Yeah, that was very good as well.
Why do we have Anthony and then it says Anthony waiting?
I don't know.
My email was in there too.
You should be fine.
It shouldn't matter, right?
It's
Yes,
just
it should
annoying.
matter.
Doc Zen, Chameleon Wardens, yes,
A
at
waiting.
some point.
No, it's gone.
I deleted it.
Oh, I guess maybe it's just still for
I don't know what the other waiting is then.
All right, we're going to put you on the screen. Hold on just a second.
Are we all still floating around?
Yep.
Sick.
I brought this guy for hot takes.
Oh,
so-
what up, Mav? Maverick. Dude, I would love to have Walter down here, but I would get him on this chair and then he would just be pissed.
Yeah. Big yawn. All right, so we are here for hot takes. Let me hit record before I forget.
Super fast. EMAC M North says EMAC Truth closest to the buzz.
Yeah, it's better than, but
There you have it. M North.
no, it's similar. I
Yeah,
would say
very
it's similar. I think that the EMAC's going to be a little bit faster
Yep.
and a little bit longer, but yeah, I think they could be comparable.
Yep.
All right, let me do the intro for Disc Golf Hot Takes, and we'll jump right into it. And I believe Danny has one for us, correct?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
So we're just audio them over there. They're not over here, correct? Or did you share it recently?
It should be eventually.
It's over there.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit, but it should be over.
Sweet. All right, let's get it. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
Got it? All right. Welcome to the Disc Golf Hot Takes, where we take. I'm going to start that over.
Where we take things that are hot
And make them cakes.
and make them into pancakes.
Here we go. I haven't even figured out like a real intro for that. Okay.
I like it.
Welcome to Disc Golf Hot Takes, where we take topics and we talk about them, we argue about them, we fight. Sometimes we go to blows.
Draw
No,
blood.
we don't. We no. Disc Golf Hot Takes can be within the realm of reality or not reality, but we just like to discuss them. Please don't believe everything we say when we talk about Disc Golf Hot Takes, and don't blast us on social media for it, like you did when I wanted to know which animal played the best disc golf.
To be fair, you did warrant being blasted on social media for that.
All right, so this week we have Anthony.
Hashtag squid life.
we have Anthony and Danny on board with us for the hot takes.
What's up?
You should be able to hear them. They're going to sound a little bit different because we're doing this via FaceTime, so their audio might sound a little bit different. So we ask you to bear with us as we test this new type of connection as we stay at home for the COVID-19 pandemic. All right, so this week we're going to go listen from Danny. So Danny, you have the floor.
All right. So my hot take is something that is a little more on the practical side. It's a change that I think would be really cool to see. I think it'd be awesome to see half pars.
Oh.
For example, like if you have two par fours that are pretty challenging for par fours, but not quite enough at par five, not quite enough to be a par five, like there were out at Waco, make them both par 4.5s. And that way, if you get a 4 on both of them, it's not like they're both birdies, but you're one down on those two holes. So, for example, locally, you could go Jones East holes 3 and 5. Those at the pro level anyway are like a 2 feels better than a birdie, but a 3 feels like a bogey. So make those par 3.5. And so both of those holes will play as a par 6. And So if you get a 5, it's a birdie. So if you 3 one and 2 another, kind of like that.
Look, disc golfers are going to struggle with fractions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Higher math is.
Some of them can't even get their regular score right. How are they going to handle fractions?
Dude, that's my quote of the year so far. Disc golfers. It's true.
So explain it to me again on the 2 holes again. So someone.
Okay. So if you have 2 holes that are currently par 4s, but they're pretty easy par 4s.
Right.
Rather than make them par 4s, make them both par 3.5s. Because if you par them, it feels kind of like a bogey, but a birdie feels better than a birdie. So if you would 2 both of them, you would be 2 down. Wait, was that right?
No.
I don't think, no, 3 down.
Try it again. So
it'd be almost an eagle.
Yeah, they'd be like 3.5s. It'd be almost eagle. Yeah.
What if you didn't birdie both of them?
Well,
What if you parred one and birdied another?
This is it's obviously a logistics nightmare.
Well, we got to talk it
just the total score
through.
at the end is par.
If he wants this
Okay.
to happen, we have to talk it through.
No, this is
All right, you have
perfect.
2
I
holes
love
that
it.
are par 3.5, okay? So your
What if there's
final
3
total at
holes?
the end of those holes.
What if you have 3 holes that are 3.5?
Well, then your designer's dumb.
Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. Okay, so let's say I have a 2-hole disc golf course. That's all it is, okay?
Yeah.
And they're par 4s right now, and they're pretty hard par 4s. Or no, they're pretty easy par 4s. To where you should get a 3 on them. You should birdie them every time. That feels a little bit too easy. It doesn't feel like it should be a birdie. So, but if you make them par 3s, then getting a 2 on them is pretty hard. You're not going to see a lot of 2s. And so getting 3 on both of them feels about as good as a birdie should be. And so it should be 1 down on those 2 holes.
like if you put them together. So like you were talking about at Jones East, hole 3 and hole 5, you make both of them par 3.5s. And if you get 3 on each one, you got 6 out of the possible out of par 7, right? If you put them together. So it's like one collective birdie.
Again, what if you don't do both of them? What if there's...
But you're going to. They're both a par 3.5. You're going to play both holes.
What if you choose to
what if I doink it and I make a and I'm
Well, you're not going to throw half a shot.
No. Okay,
You will
so
if you miss the hole and get par +4.
that's true. You guys.
Well,
this time
then
you
you're-
get this. Now
Just
you get
eliminate that rule,
7.5.
disqualified.
Okay, so let me get this right. So an ace, we call it an ace when we get it a 1, right? And we call it a birdie when what? When we're one
under the par.
1 under the par. We call it a par when we make the par, and we call it a bogey, double bogey. What do we call it on a 3.5?
Bert.
A monkey?
Yeah. I like Victor in the chat. He says burr and bog.
Bog.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What would you call it?
Double bog.
How would you refer double bog? How would you
I got 1.5 bogs on this hole. Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, from a course design perspective, if you have like a really hard par 3 and nobody ever twos it, they feel pretty upset about it. But if you make it a par 2.5, then like you're still trying to get the 2, but a 3 doesn't feel as bad.
So what if I walk up and someone says, "Hey, that's a par 3," and he goes, "No, the new rule is a par 3.5," and I'm like, "Why?" And they say, "Well, it's a little harder than a par 3, but not quite a par 4." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't think it's as hard as a par 3.5. I think it's a par 3.3." A 3 and a 7/8.
See, but now you're just getting crazy. But we were fine on half pars.
We lost them all.
They are.
It's based on the course design. Like on a colloquial thing, or when you're doing commentary or something like that, you see lots of people say, it's a par 3, but it's really more of a par 3.5. Yeah. Or you see something like that. I'm just saying, put that on the scorecard, and then at the end of the round or whatever, your score to par would better represent what kind of round you had.
I like this. Okay. I do not like it for the sake of individual holes. I do like it for the sake of having the par for the whole course reflected differently, right? So right now, Jones East is a par 61. There are 7 par 4s on Jones East most of the time. Okay. And
all the time now, Robert.
What?
With the baskets.
Oh, really?
All of that.
Okay.
There's the gold baskets are out now, so there's 2 positions on almost every hole.
Oh, nice. I guess the only one I was thinking that would change is hole 13. what if it's across the creek or not. But let's just say it's a par 61. Yeah. It has 3 in the straight placement, and it has 5 in the normal long placement, not like the little short one. And so if you go 3-3 on those holes, as you should, or better, then instead of having it be a par 61, it would be a par 60. Because I like that idea, because then you don't have to choose one to call a par 3 or a par 4. You can just say, all right, this is a 3.5. 4 feels bad. 3 feels good, but not so bad that, like, holy crap, look at this awesome birdie that I got. So we would call it a par 60 instead of a par 61, instead of having to call a single one of those holes a par 3 or a par 4. Just say, hey, for the course, it's par 60. I could get behind it for that purpose. I do think it would still wreak havoc on tournament directors.
Oh gosh!
When they would get to the
electronic scoring, we got electronic scorecards. It's fine.
Well, when
they don't do anything anyways, right?
That's a good point. But when people get to the end, and they say, okay, what's par? Stupid question. Just add up your scores. Please just add up your scores. Then it's taken care of at that point. But if you're trying to gauge it against what the course should be played at, I don't mind it for that.
And that's kind of the purpose, I think, is like your total round relative to par, what score you should be shooting for. Instead of making pars feel like bogeys and birdies feel like eagles, it kind of just makes everything, I don't know. That's what I think.
Robert, you're in favor of, you use Jones East par 61, making it a par 60.
Right.
If we're not doing half pars, then are you just making one hole pars just off?
So I think,
what's the better fix?
Okay, so I honestly think if we were going to go down this route, the better fix would be to just call one a par 3 and call one a par 4. That's probably the better way to do it. However, I like the idea of keeping in mind. All right, go around Jones East, for example. Say 3 could be a 3.5. 4 is a pretty true par 4. 5 would be a 3.5. 6, when it's in the long, I'd say pros would call it probably a 3.5, because some of them, oh my gosh, because some of them will get the eagle on it just with that low ceiling drive. And then if there was another soft par 4, then instead of saying par 61, you would say par 59, without having to say, hey, this is a par 3, this is a par 4. So
I've played a course.
It's better as a total than it is as individual holes, I think.
Or even as like a sequence of 2 holes. Yeah. And it wouldn't be, you would always have to have, I guess you wouldn't always have to have them balance out, but I feel like in practice they would. You'd always have the same number. So your par for the whole course would never be like 60.5 or something.
Right.
But I want to say there's a course in Minnesota. I think Vision Quest has par 2.5s or 3.5s on some of them.
I played a Euro Tour event that had par 2s.
Yeah, I've seen that. But Vision
Quest, I feel like
true half pars?
I think so. On the tee signs anyway.
Weird.
I feel like we should just eliminate par.
So, okay, to your par 2 thing, make them a par 2.5. Because if you play hole 2 and hole 8 out at Jones East, make both of those par 2.5s, because a 2 on both of those at the pro level doesn't feel like a birdie. Feels like that's what you should be doing.
Right.
And a 3 feels closer to a bogey. And so if you 3 one and 2 the other, that's pretty average. That's par.
I like it. I'm in for it.
Yeah.
You're in for half pars?
I'm in for half pars for the sake of making the total par a different number than it normally is.
I like it under the caveat that there's always an even number of them.
Yeah.
Just so that the course par isn't 70.5. Make it 70, make it 71.
Dang, that's a big course, Anthony.
Even number of them. Hey, man, that's all I'm trying to do is throw bombs.
I just came out here
Chad
and dropped
doesn't
bombs.
like it.
That's funny.
Chad doesn't like it so far. I saw someone on a 10-point scale. I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're already implementing the system.
4.5? Hey, yeah, perfect.
All right, Eric. We expect on your next design that we have some half pars out there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to eliminate pars on my next course design.
Altogether?
Mm-hmm. No pars.
Yeah. When it says hole 10, 550 feet.
That's it.
This is a hole.
Go.
No par 4. No. This is a disc golf hole. This is another disc golf hole. Throw it. and write down how many times you threw it.
Yeah, right. And leave me alone. All right, well,
Par
that's it.
divided by 0.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck with the math.
Dude, the limit does not exist, okay?
All right, so that's it for this Disc Golf Hot Take. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you follow us on Facebook, go out to the Disc Golf Answer Man. Follow us there. We'll post a link to this episode for the audio, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts on Danny's take on pars? Should we allow, or should there be half pars? Thanks, guys. All right, tubers, YouTubers, hang tight for the after show.
Welcome.
Did you listen to the last week's?
Not yet.
You hadn't listened to it yet?
No.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet either. I need to go check it out.
I wonder if I could play it for our YouTubers real quick. See if they like it. Hang tight. Here we go. Oh, nope. That's not what it is.
It's a pretty catchy theme song, though.
Welcome to the after show.
We out here.
What's up? We
I thought it turned out pretty good. All right, I got to put Sebastian down. All right, so after show, I think we're just going to talk a little bit about the current state of affairs.
I like Thomas's suggestion. He said, can't they all be par fives? Then I have a slight chance of playing under par. I'm in.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, even better.
I shot a 31 under par today, guys.
I liked Ace Run Productions' name for the par and a halves, the Peacock.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Pretty
works.
funny.
Imagine trying to say that during while you're doing commentary.
Oh my gosh, we already know how I would.
That's what I'm saying.
So wait, if you get 3 birdies in a row, what if you get 3 peacocks in a row?
Then Anthony,
Proceed right past them and keep on playing the course.
then you're playing a horribly designed course.
All right, here we go. All right, so we'll just do a simple intro. And welcome to... Oh, wait.
No.
Oh,
Welcome.
yeah. Welcome to the after show.
We out here. We out here.
Out here. All right, so the after show is when we kind of lay back a little bit.
We in here.
We are definitely not out. Where we chill for a little bit and talk a little bit about disc golf, a little bit about other topics. We have Anthony, Danny, and Eric McCabe on FaceTime, so their audio is going to sound a little different. For joining us to talk and chat it up. I thought we could talk, get some feedback from our YouTubers and just talk about what have we. Are you doing the Eric? Are you doing the Brady Bunch thing? Oh.
Got it. Cool.
Hanging out then.
Yep.
It was cool hanging out for a little bit.
What happened?
Super short after show.
Can y'all hear us still?
Dude,
I guess not. We lost them.
No, we're back.
Are we back?
Oh, they're back.
There we
Okay,
go.
good. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
All right, so we've got Eric McCabe, Anthony, and Danny on FaceTime talking, so hopefully they won't drop out of the connection. So let's check in real quick. So I have been working from home during this coronavirus outbreak, trying to flatten the curve and not be out as much as possible. Now, I will admit last week I did get out and play pickleball 3 times, but it was only with no more than 5 people at one time, and then it was just 3 people another time. So I wasn't out in large groups, but even after that, I started thinking that I don't need to even be out with those groups. I ran to the warehouse a few times to grab some equipment I needed to do.
She's just cranking 90s 24/7.
80s, bro.
I would imagine that we're pushing video out for the Sling Studio, and I'm watching video here with Eric, and then you've got the video going here. We've probably got a lot of bandwidth going.
Let me pause mine.
But I don't know how much that really helps. But so anyway, so we'll just keep going so I'll stitch together the audio. So
Audio should be good, yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Eric McCabe?
Oh,
Hi back.
Actually, I
Pretty
don't.
much.
That's why I asked. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're right. I haven't seen you guys in forever, it feels like. No, we've been working from home for the most part. We did have to go in yesterday and get the rest of the apparel mailed out for the team. We got all that taken care of, and I've got out and played a couple rounds of disc golf solo and one with Denise. We went out and played, and then I shot a video yesterday with Tristan. But for the most part, yeah, just hanging out at home. I did go fishing the other day as well by myself. So that's no better time right now, right, than to go out and do things on your own, I guess. I don't know. It's been crazy. We've been watching a lot of TV, just trying to lead a normal life, which is very difficult right now. We've done a little takeout here and there to try to help support the mom and pop shops in town, Chaim Eats, Radius, those type of places. Doobies as well, but for the most part, we've been cooking here, making a lot of food and just having food here. I mean, our fridge it's crazy. Our fridge is full right now, which is awesome.
That's good.
But our other supplies are running low, which is never good. Like toilet paper, for whatever reason, people are going crazy. When you go to the store and you actually need it, it's different than when you're going there and actually want to buy 3 cases of it, It's just crazy.
I will tell you, Madison went out yesterday and she said she got some at Rebel's, but that was like the 4th store that she went to, so it's probably gone by now.
It probably, and they say that they restock them daily or weekly or something like that, but Walmart's closing now. Did you guys know that Walmart closes at like 8:30 p.m. now? They're not open all night.
And they open at 6, I think.
5:30 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah, it used to be 24 hours, but
Yep. I did go yesterday to get some groceries, and it's a scary thing it used to be scary to go to Walmart for other reasons, but it's crazy now, it's just be cautious while you're out there, people. And those people that are out there, saying that it's not that big a deal, it's the government, whatever your outlook on it isn't about you. It's about the people that it does affect and the people that it can kill. That's what it's about. I'm more concerned with, obviously Denise, having some health issues here and there. My parents, who are, in that age bracket that something like this could really, really affect everything. So, just be smart and be considerate and don't be stupid. That's all there is to it.
It's true.
Have you guys seen the movie Contagion? Mm-mm. I made the mistake of watching that on Sunday, I believe, and I never wanted to leave the house again.
Is that one on Netflix?
It's
is it Hulu?
I had to rent it.
Okay.
I rented it. It's not on Netflix as of now. But it's basically a movie about basically just as kind of what's happening now. A virus gets spread from one person to 2 to 4 to 16 to 32 to, obviously ends up being, I can't remember how many hundreds of millions of people end up dying as they were trying to figure out the cure and everything. But it was very much like what's happening, or it was similar to what's happening now, obviously to an extreme case that it was Hollywoodized, as I like to put it,
sure,
so that it's more sensational.
You know what movie is on Netflix right now that you should go watch, though?
Outbreak. Now that I've seen. I remember when it first came out. Good. That's pretty crazy.
It's good.
Their angle though on Outbreak is that it was it was weaponized. It was something that the military was having as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This one was interesting. I don't want to give it away, I guess, if someone hadn't seen it yet. But it was basically
like any of us, all of us,
or anyone on the internet.
Yeah. It had a lot of big names. It had Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne. Of course, yesterday I called him Larry Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne, dude. He said it has all these big names in it. Larry Fishburne, and I was like, what?
Is that Lawrence's cousin?
Lawrence.
That's what I told him. I said, it's his brother, man. His brother can't
It's his brother who sucks at cooking.
Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bryan Cranston. Isn't he Breaking Bad, dude? Yeah, Brian.
Walter White.
He had a pretty small role in it, but he was in it.
Mitchell Freeman.
Who's that?
Is
that Morgan? That's Morgan Freeman's brother.
Big names.
Some of these words
from Major League.
Big names. Larry Fishburne.
So anyway, it was an okay movie, but it was just kind of. They even used the term social distancing. Thank you. In the movie, so it was just kind of eerie how it was so close to what was happening.
Yeah. It's crazy times.
All right, Anthony.
I'm excited to play.
Oh, Danny, yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm excited to play some Uno tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. Tell us about that, Mr. Duno.
Duno, that's what they call me. I do know what's going on.
Anthony just what?
Good grief. Bobby needs to get out of the house again.
Yeah, go on a walk or something.
So, as fun as it would be to get together and play cards with everybody, it's not really feasible with the quarantine stuff. So we found Uno on PC, and so we're gonna be playing that on the Dynamic Disc Twitch tomorrow night.
Yes,
and we might be able to get some special guests on there too. I haven't heard final details from everyone, but it'd be really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, come and hang out. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, good stuff.
It'll be super fun.
So Danny and Anthony have been working on videos, working on some ideas to post out on there. But how are you holding up there, Anthony?
I'm good, man. It's like I've been basically living my normal life. I just come into this other bedroom to work instead of go to the office. I'm happy to stay home 6-7 nights out of the week.
Well,
so
screw you. We don't want you around anyway. No.
Hey man, later. I'm out, guys. Peace.
Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling the same thing and just want to stay at home all the
time. Right? Yeah.
No, but it is kind of a different environment to be home. I remember the Monday and Tuesday of last week, I was like, man, I'm getting a lot of stuff done, not many distractions, and just whipping through some stuff. And then, of course, as things got worse and worse, it's like a weight on you, just a heavy weight of what's going to happen, what's going to go.
Well, yeah, it feels weird not having the option.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't feel like playing disc golf today is one thing, but to be like, well, if you wanted to play, man, too bad. Like
you can't.
You can't. Yeah, like you have to stay inside now.
Yeah, I was thinking that either Saturday or Sunday. I was like, it's a weekend. It's cold. I wouldn't normally want to just go out and do stuff, but because I can't, it feels a little constraining.
Yeah.
I did end up going on a walk, and I thought it feels even more quieter than normal. But it was normal, but it just felt weird that if somebody were to walk by, I'd have to make sure that I was at least 6 feet away and things like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny? If you hear growling at Sebastian, he's frustrated for some reason. What about you, Danny?
I've been chilling. I had sleep for lunch the other day, so I just ate while I was working. So that's really nice.
Nice.
You had sleep Was that like a sleep sandwich or
no? It was like, all right, it's time to take my lunch break, and I went and sat down on the couch, and then woke up and my lunch break was over. So I got back to work and just made food while I was working. It was great.
Have you got out at all?
Yeah, I had to go grocery shopping a couple of times, or just once. And then at Walmart, it was funny. There was an employee sitting there making sure that people didn't take too much hand sanitizer.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they actually have it. Nice.
They have just somebody sitting there, and so I thought it was kind of strange. It's just weird the way the grocery section is just cleared out. Yeah. There's no pasta. There's nothing.
Yeah, Madison went to the stores, like I said, I think it was yesterday, and she was grabbing a couple things for us, and then her grandma's like 92 or something, so it's like, she is not leaving the house right now. We'll get her stuff. And they made her, like, if she wanted paper towels, and she could only buy one, and then they made her go out to her car, put it in her car, come back, and I guess they had a line. She had to get back in line to get another one for her grandma. They couldn't even...
Terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, paper towels and eggs, too. I saw eggs that were limited to one a person, too.
Yep. Yeah.
One egg.
Yeah. Just opening up the carton.
By the end of the week, you'll be able to make enough scrambled eggs for 2 people.
Yeah. If you get the cracked one, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's luck of the draw, man. Sorry.
Somebody had to get it.
The egg lotto. Danny, you had mentioned, I think it was you, Danny, when we talked about topics to talk about, you said something about how to beat in discs without playing.
Yeah, without playing. People are always looking for ways to do that. I don't generally advise it because it's easy to go too far. I had a Biofusion Defender. I was trying to get understable, and I just worked it in my hands. I have a disc. I'm gonna grab a flippy one. If you just bend the rim of a disc downwards in your hands over and over again, that'll slowly make it more understable. But if you're not beating it in by throwing it, it's really hard to lose a feel for how understable it is. And so I had a Defender that I was doing that to, and I didn't realize it had gotten much more understable than I expected because it felt like it was brand new still. And I threw it, and it flew kind of like a witness if a witness was very beat in.
Wow.
It pretty much barrel rolled. It just flipped right over because I spent too much time working it with my hands. So that's something to be careful of. But does anybody else know other ways to beat in discs without being able to go outside or anything?
Yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
I was just going to say, I've heard people will put it in their dryer on the no heat setting. I have never tried
only
that.
Use the heat setting.
Yeah. Sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, I put it on full heat all the way, throw it in the oven before. That's the other one that I've heard that I can think of.
I feel like that would have the same problem, though, where, like, it feels new, and then all of a sudden it's flippy.
Well, yeah, and I've never tried that, and I'd rather not, because I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, what if it hits, like, the top of the disc, and now it's concave, or if it's all lopsided? That sounds like you're bringing a whole lot of factors in that I'm not trying to bring in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the bend the disc from the top down a whole bunch of times before.
Yeah.
Especially, I had a beat up criminal that I wanted to replace, and so I did that. And like, yeah, if you can overwork it pretty quickly, but it's hard to know until you get out and throw it. So,
Yeah.
But it's a good way to do it for sure. Like, I mean, you can take a very overstable disc, give me like 10 minutes, and it will be straight to understable just from working it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone says sandpaper in the chat. I don't know. Where would you sand it?
The flashing?
The rim, probably.
That would be different. I guess the outer edge, but the flashing is like something different. The flashing is when there's like extra plastic on the bottom of a disc and it like scrapes your finger, and that I definitely do get rid of with like concrete or sandpaper.
Yeah.
But as far as beating in a disc with sandpaper, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, same.
You just slap it really hard.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what?
Bush beer.
I was opening my soda.
I've got so many discs, I don't need to beat in any right now.
True. Yeah, so otherwise we played a board game last night called Pente.
Oh, that was actually pretty fun.
Very, very fun.
I posted on my Instagram story, and a few people said, "Hey, I love that game."
I saw that. I didn't see what it was. I just saw it was like a new game or something. That's all I had.
How do you explain
I couldn't tell what it was.
Pente is okay. Have y'all seen Go, like the game Go, where it's a grid board, just like a bunch of little squares. You place little beads or circles or something at the intersections, and the goal in Go is to totally isolate one of the other team's beads, right? Like close in around them. Okay, so same sort of board, but in Pente, the goal is to get 5 of your beads in a row on the intersections, diagonally or straight across, up and down. Or if all right, so if I play a bead on an intersection and Bobby has 2 right next to each other in between mine, I can play a bead right on the other side of this. And then like that's called jumping a pair. You take those 2 out. You can win by jumping 5 pairs. So there, you just kind of have to like be aware of what's happening on the board all the time, and you can't talk during it because say somebody gets like 4 beads in a row and there's 4 people playing. 2 of the next 3 people need to put 1 on either side to block them, right? And so like I can't say to Bobby, "Hey, make sure and block this so I can block the other side." You can't say anything. So anyway, it's a super fun game. We had a good time. Shay won twice. That was dumb.
So wait, Robert, does it have to be like you have 4 and you have to go boom, 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 or is it like you can jump 1 and then you jump another 1 and that's 2? Like you have to do it 5 times or 5 in a row.
You can only jump pairs, like only 2, right? You can win by getting 5 pairs. Or you can win by getting 5 of your beads in a row, like just straight, like connect 5.
Johnny P says it's a lot like Othello. I never played Othello.
Yeah, something like that. We'll have to.
That's only a 2-person game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when you see your friend in the middle of swear again, you're giving an Othello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was bad.
Get me out of here.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, we'll show y'all. We'll show y'all the game sometime. It was fun.
Yeah, it took a little bit for me to understand it, and then
Bobby won one though.
I did win one, and
Nice.
trying to figure out the strategies and things like that. And then, of course, there were a couple of times that you get so honed in on moves. You're like, okay, if they do that one, I'm going to do this, and then hopefully that'll trick them. They don't do this one, and then all of a sudden you miss a spot where you get messed up, and they jump you, and you're like, crap, So it's kind of cool.
Crap.
Mm-hmm. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart.
I busted out my PS4, plugged it in, let it update. I played it for 2 minutes and put it back away.
And then just box it back up.
You didn't play Mario Kart on PS4, though.
No, I didn't play Mario Kart. I was playing Dig Dug and Galaga.
Guess I don't see what the problem is here. Excellent games.
They were, but
that's like a personal issue.
Once I was done, I was like, I don't want to play video games anymore.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I thought about downloading Warzone, but I'm not sure about that.
Ooh, do it. I'll squat up anytime you want.
Bobby, I get so frustrated if you die. Like
6:01 p.m. Let's go.
Yep, I'm down. I will roll out of bed, boot everything up. We got it.
On PS4 though. I'm on PS4.
So
that's fine. It's got cross-platform.
You can play cross-platform.
I guess I'm on.
What's so good about Warzone? Well, how is it compared to all the rest?
Well, it's like Apex Legends, like three-person teams.
But this one you could do like 150. I thought I saw. What would that mean?
What
total people in the game?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but no, Apex Legends.
I thought you had to wait till you had 150 join in, then you could play.
Yeah, you got to text a lot of your friends.
Yeah. No, you just go in a team of 3. It matches you with other people, and then the goal is just to survive until the end.
Yeah, but don't you get killed really fast?
Well, you can.
Oh, okay.
If you suck.
And then what do? Just wait to go back in again?
No, if you die, you get put in the gulag, so you get to fight someone in the gulag showers while other people throw rocks at you. And if you win your 1v1, then you get to respawn.
Oh, that's a cool concept. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think I've lost 1 gulag lifetime.
I was going to say, I would want to get Bobby in there.
But did you say in the shower?
It's one of the maps.
You're taking a shower with somebody while you're fighting?
It's really awkward, okay? You just keep your eyes on the soap, you're fine.
Whoa.
Hey-oh.
Hang on.
You're trying to stay clean, dude. It's the virus is going around. What do you think I was talking about?
Tagged by YouTube here.
Wait, what?
All right, so what were you saying, Robert?
I'm not talking anymore now.
Okay.
Hey, what I was going to say, I will say what I was going to say now. I would like to see Bobby's lifetime record in Gulag.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
I don't understand.
You'd have difficulty. It's just 1v1.
Johnny V, Eric wants to know what version of are you playing? Are you playing on Switch?
I'm playing on Switch and GameCube.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, dude, Mario Kart Double Dash.
Double Dash. Yeah, so much fun.
Go.
2 players on Double Dash is so much fun.
Can you do worldwide? You can do like connect to the internet and do worldwide races, right?
I don't know if you can on I don't think you can on GameCube, but you can on Switch.
On Switch. Switch is the one that it can be a handheld and it turns into the TV. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Are you laughing at Captain Moistbeard, Anthony?
I sure am.
What did he say?
He just dropped his gamer tag in the chat, and it's just
Girth Vader.
Yeah.
Girth.
Yes.
I was going to leave it in the chat, but okay.
Alrighty then. All right. Well, I guess we got anything else we can chat about, or apparently I need to go download Warzone so I can be ready maybe tonight for some Warzone action.
I'm getting after it.
I need to plug in my headset too.
Yeah. Over the weekend on Sunday, whichever day.
Uh-oh.
Whichever day, I'm not sure, Anthony. We lost Anthony for a second there. Sorry, folks. So we'll see if he gets back. Nope. And
nice. On Sunday, Madison and I had a little.
You can keep telling me your story, Anthony.
Yeah, I'll listen.
All right, Anthony, we got you.
We got you back.
Okay. Yeah. So someday over the weekend, Madison and I were bored, so we set up we had a little death match disc golf tournament in the apartment, and it was fantastic.
Nice.
Your skill level in actual disc golf does not matter. I think we played probably 20 holes, 25 holes, and I think I beat her 4 times and she beat 3 times. But it was a blast. She even came in today and said, if you ever need anything to give you a backing on selling those things, I got you. Because she's played disc golf for 5 seconds of her entire life. Does not like it. She had fun.
That's awesome.
It was really good.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in for the after show. Just want to tell you, be safe out there. By the time you listen to this, I'm not going to be sure what state we are in as far as being.
I'll be in Kansas.
Good point, Anthony.
I'm traveling.
Probably going to be solid as well.
We're not sure where we'll be as far as the Canova virus.
The Canola virus?
The Canova.
Coca-Cola virus.
Coca-Cola. The coronavirus. So hopefully everybody's safe and okay.
Yeah, Thursday, be on the lookout for the Lucid X EMAC Truth along with the other Tour Series discs being released at dynamicdiscs.com.
This will go out on Friday, so they will already be released, hopefully.
Well, if they're not sold out, just go ahead and buy them anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll see you.
Okay, bye.